So the early 2000s were definitely a time you probably had an iPhone. If you were lucky, you had an iPod Touch, you had a flip phone, and you were probably playing games on your GameCube, your Wii, and your Nintendo DS. Now in 2022, we love Animal Crossing, we love Dinkum, we love Stardew Valley, and we love all kinds of cute, cozy, just make us feel good games. But back in the day, there were a few games that I remember that either due to their niche audience, release date proximity due to the end of the console's life, or bad development that led to some of these lovely Nintendo treasures being indefinitely entombed until someone decides they are worth digging up and resuscitating. So here are 5 forgotten franchises and games which I think deserve a second chance on Nintendo Switch. Let's go. So I'm going to start my list with the games I think are least likely to receive a resurrection, but like the ones I most want, and also the ones, and I'm going to end with the ones I think are the most likely to get a second chance on Switch. So I know this first game franchise is probably dead, and I'm probably just breaking my own heart by even talking about this, but we have to talk about Chibi Robo, okay? There is a special place in my heart for Chibi Robo. I mean, first of all, look at him. He's adorable. He's a little robot. He's like, 10 centimeters high, which means like 4 inches high. And he cleans your house, and he's adorable. He has like no facial expressions. He needs to plug in every now and again to keep going. And this first game for GameCube that I think came out in 2006 in the US was Chef's Kiss. It was super bad timing because in 2006, the Wii was going to be released and the GameCube was going to be discontinued in 2007. So this was the end of the GameCube's life cycle, and nobody was really looking for like new cool GameCube games to play, and Chibi Robo was a little bit weird, but Chibi Robo was super special. You play as an adorable 10 centimeter high cleaning robot purchased by the Sanderson family, who are probably the weirdest family in a video game I've ever seen. The father, George, is an eccentric dressing, recently unemployed man-child who buys lots of toys. His wife, Helen, is the voice of reason for the entire family and is really upset when George goes out to buy this Chibi Robo for his daughter for her birthday, but she's totally won over by Chibi Robo eventually because she's like, oh, you're so cute, and it's really cute. And the daughter, Jenny, who is the recipient of this Chibi Robo, is 8 years old, and she just wears a frog costume and thinks she's a frog all the time and just has ribbit. The main portion of the game is just spent going around and doing tasks for the Sandersons, including like cleaning up the floor with a little toothbrush. It's really cute. And at night, all the toys in the house come to life and have their own quirks and dreams and desires. It's kind of like Japanese Toy Story, I guess. The story is completely wild with talking bugs, flowers. There's another giant robot in the basement you have to repair. Oh, and there's aliens. There's aliens. This game was wacky and totally adorable and charming and had one of the best sound designs of any game I can think of ever. Every time Chibi Robo did anything, anytime he moved, anytime he stepped, there was a sound associated with it, and it was so adorable, so well done. There was a lot of dialogue in the game, but it was super fun to play and really charming. I remember it being one of the most charming games I've ever played, and this is where Nintendo messed up. The game was developed by a developer called Skip Limited, and the sad part about this is Skip Limited may be shut down, but no one knows. As of I'm filming this video, their offices are empty, their website is defunct, but there's been no formal announcement, so it's sketchy. There was a sequel to the game called Park Patrol, but it was only released at Walmart for some reason. Then they went back to the original cleaning robot formula in a sequel, a direct sequel to the game on DS, and it was only released in Japan. Why? Then there was Chibi Robo Photo Finder, which came out in 2013, I believe. It was okay, but like, who wants to take photos with their Nintendo DS. No, the Nintendo 3DS. And it just, I didn't find the game function very well for me at all. And then when the Wii came out, they did remaster a few games and release them under the new play control. I remember Pikmin came out with new play control with you could use a nunchuck and the Wiimote. And they came up with, I was like, that's a great idea. And they did it with Chibi Robo too, only in Japan again. This was the only new play control game that didn't get released. I'm baffled. And then in 2015, we got Chibi Robo Zip Lash, which was a 2D platformer that no one asked for. In 2017, Nintendo tweeted a picture of a fiery Chibi Robo, and everybody on Twitter went wild and thought maybe they're bringing back Chibi Robo, but 4 years on and nothing happened with that. And since Skip Limited may be shut down, we're left without a direct developer, but I would really, really love if Nintendo would take this IP. They own this IP. I wish they would take this IP, give it to another developer like Grezzo. Grezzo does everything fabulously. Remaster it, HD it up, shine it up a little bit, and give it to us on Switch, the original one. You don't even need to do new translating, it's already done. Wouldn't that be so charming? This game would blow up. If they could give Chibi Robo the Link's Awakening treatment, it would be an amazing, amazing seller on Nintendo Switch. It's great. It would be great to play handheld or on the TV. The game's wacky and weird enough to get everybody's attention, and I do think that this is a dead franchise. I think Nintendo was like, oh, we gave it a bunch of chances, but you didn't. You screwed it up at every turn, and I don't think Nintendo is going to bring back Chibi Robo, unfortunately. They did give Chibi Robo a trophy in Super Smash Bros. So, I guess he's still alive there. However, unfortunately, I do think Chibi Robo is a dead series. I can hope, I can wish. And if Chibi Robo ever comes back and you're watching this video, comment down below, but a girl can dream. All right, let's move on. The next game I would really love to see a remastered treatment on Switch is a Harvest Moon game. Wait, no. Story of Seasons, not Harvest Moon. But it is Harvest Moon. But now it's Story of Seasons. At least in the US. You know what I'm saying. My first Harvest Moon game was Friends of Mineral Town, which was for the Nintendo DS, and I played it non-stop. It was a good game, and they gave Friends of Mineral Town the Switch treatment where they remastered the game and they put it out for Switch, and it was so good. And I would really, really love if the same thing happened to A Wonderful Life and Another Wonderful Life. A Wonderful Life came out in 2004 and was released exclusively for GameCube at the time. It did release for PlayStation a little later, but when it first came out, it was just for GameCube. A Wonderful Life was one of the most charming and underrated games in this series. It had a very muted color palette. It was very, very relaxing and chill. And I think it had one of the most serious tones of any of the games of the series. There were only 3 or 4 marriage candidates. I think there were 4 marriage candidates in an updated game, but there are 3 main marriage candidates. You didn't have a lot to choose from, but you had to choose wisely. But the fun part of that is I would play through the game another time and be like, well, this time I'm going to marry Celia instead of Muffy and see how that goes. A Wonderful Life was a game that released where you could only play as a masculine character, but they did come out with another game, Another Wonderful Life, I have it right here, in which you could play as a feminine character. And it is basically the same game, but just a different skin, and you can marry one of 3 bachelors. I think if the developers were to remaster this game in 2022, they would have to do some significant updating to it, because I do remember it being a little bit slow, and maybe they could add some more marriage candidates to the game, but the game was really charming, very relaxing, and overall one of the most wholesome and beautiful entries in the Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons game series, and I really think it deserves a second chance on another console. If there is any game franchise that deserves a reboot, genuinely deserves a reboot, it is the Hamtaro game series. If you're not familiar with Hamtaro, Hamtaro is a Japanese storybook series, it has been an anime, and now it's games. Hamtaro stars a hamster, Hamtaro, and his cute bunch of friends, and they are hamsters, of course, and they go around doing cute hamster things. And I did not discover Hamtaro until I was at GameStop one day, and I was looking for games to play on my Nintendo DS or my Game Boy Advance, actually, for my Game Boy Advance, SP at the time, and I saw Hamtaro Ham Ham Heartbreak, and I was like, what's this? I don't know, I'm gonna buy it. It seemed like, when I turned it on, I was like, this looks like a game for kids, and it was, but you know what? It was adorable and I loved it. All of the Hamtaro games use this weird mechanic where you have this ham speak, where you come up with these different sort of colloquialisms for normal words, like tackle is tack you, and like hello is ham ha. And the Ham Ham Heartbreak was basically you had to repair relationships between hamsters that were in love, hamsters that have fallen out there like friends, hamsters that were, co-workers, and the game was so adorable. There was one, I think the enemy's name was Spat, and he was just going everywhere and breaking hearts, and it was your job to repair the relationships. And let me tell you, I had so much fun playing this game. I was in my 20s when I got this game, and I played it through, I think, like 3 times. It was so cute. This is one of those games where I think shine it up, give it the HD treatment, and put it on Switch, and people will eat it up. It is so adorable, so cozy, so just feel good. It would be a really, really good choice for the Nintendo Switch. The first Hamtaro game came out in 2000 for Game Boy Color, and the last entry we got was in 2011. So I don't know if Hamtaro is ever coming back, but it would be really good if they did. And the last entry we got for Hamtaro wasn't even for Nintendo DS, it was for iOS, and that game I think is now defunct. You can't even play it. But if anybody who matters is listening, I would love another Hamtaro game, or just at least shine up one of these old ones and give it to us. Rainbow Rescue, I think, is another one that was, I guess, really good. I never got to play it. I think you can still buy a localized cartridge. I might do that, of Rainbow Rescue. If you've played Rainbow Rescue, let me know down in the comment below. Should I get it off eBay? I don't know. The next game is a game I haven't played, but I think deserves a place on Nintendo Switch. I don't know what happened with this game. And to be totally truthful, I have played this game for like an hour, but I never really got into it. And I think that I know that a lot of people did get into it, and I actually want to give it a proper playthrough. I still have Nintendo DS. I still play it a lot. But that game is Fantasy Life. I know that Fantasy Life was really, really popular, and it came out for the Nintendo 3DS, and then it came out for, I think it was a mobile game, but I don't know if it's supported anymore. I don't know if you can still play that anymore. And I know a lot of people who really, really liked Fantasy Life. And from what I played of it, I only played an hour or so. It was really fun. You could play as all of these different professions. You could be somebody who makes spells. You could be a knight, you could be a cook, you could be all kinds of things and live all of these different adventures. And it was amazing, and I really, really wished that they would give it another chance on Switch. I think it would do really well. I can't really talk a lot about Fantasy Life until I've given it a proper playthrough. I think I will do that in the next few months, so I'll make sure to do a follow-up video on Fantasy Life and how I feel about it. And the last game I think deserves a place on Switch, and the game I think most likely will end up getting a Switch treatment is, you guessed it, Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life came out in 2014 in the US, and is weird. I knew as soon as I saw an advertisement for Tomodachi Life, I was like, I gotta have that game. That game looks weird. You can make Miis of your friends and family, and they all live in this building, and the game's weird. It's a mix of kind of Animal Crossing and... No, it's not. in Tomodachi Life, you could basically create Miis and have them interact in their house, and you could actually have other people from other games visit. When Street Pass was a thing on 3DS, I had so many people playing Tomodachi Life passing me on the street, and it interacts with your game, and they can give you presents, and you know what? I'm not really sure what happened in Street Pass, but I know that it happened a lot. And probably the weirdest part of the game was like the little music performances you could do in Tomodachi Life. It was there for no reason, and it was bizarre and wonderful.
Tentacles are what you want, and to show all your friends they stink, then stick it to them. 4 versus 4 plastic. And
you could buy food and feed it to your It was like a Tamagotchi, like the regular Tamagotchi with the egg, but like there was a lot of them. But it was you, maybe, and your friends and family that you designed. They could have children. It was weird. However, I was hooked on it. I played it morning, noon, and night. I was super amused by a lot of the things that happened in the game. A lot of the things that happened in the game made me laugh out loud. And I think this game would be so good on Nintendo Switch. They've already given the updated treatment to Miitopia, so I don't see what's holding them back on Tomodachi Life. And I suspect they may be working on it, but I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, those are my 5 wacky and wonderful games that I think deserve a second chance on Nintendo Switch. Do you agree with these? Are there any more that you'd like to see? Leave a comment down below and let me know. And also let me know if you'd like to see a Chibi Robo Let's Play. I would love to play through the game again, and I'd like to, take you guys along for the ride. All right, like this video if you like it, and subscribe for more Nintendo game stuff. All right. Thanks for watching.